What's up, guys? It is Carly here bringing you another weekly dose of horror, and today we are moving along with the B section of my collection, and we are talking about The Blob from, I believe, the year 1988. And The Blob, of course, is a remake of The Blob from the 1950s. I forget the exact year, but I've actually never seen that movie. Weirdly enough, I've seen The Blob 2, Beware of the Blob from 1972 due to being on the 72 show with 22 shots, but never actually seen the first original movie. But the plot with The Blob is you basically have this weird life force that crash lands onto Earth in this small town, and it's pretty much just this blob. It's just this gooey, weird, pinkish substance that's going around and eating people that get in its way, and it's just really gross and kind of just consumes these people, and it gets bigger and bigger and can just form into all these different shapes. So of course, you know, the townspeople are trying to figure out what the heck this thing is and bring it down, and then some other people get involved as well, so you start to kind of think that they might actually be involved with why this creature, or whatever you want to call it, has come to Earth. So that is the idea behind this movie. This movie, I think, is a really fun film, and it's one of the ones that has the great practical effects going on. When I think of that, I always kind of think of The Thing, The Fly, and The Blob together. They kind of did the best with the effects back in the 80s, and they even mentioned those two movies on the back of this cover here. Those are kind of like the three that you think about, and this one definitely does a good job. It's got some, you know, gross moments and just some just very interesting to look at scenes going on in it, and like I said, it's also just a fun movie. You know, you have Shawnee Smith is in this movie, which I always forget that's her, and then the, you know, other dude who's in the film, he's kind of like this bad guy type of guy who doesn't really like getting involved with the police or anything like that because he kind of has this reputation, and Shawnee Smith plays kind of this good girl character, and they end up, you know, sort of pairing up to work together and try to get away from this thing, and I think it really works. I like the characters in this movie. I think they're pretty likable, and I just like kind of their backstories and how they're sort of opposites and they come together. This movie also has, I forgot, it has like I've only seen this movie one time before, to be honest, guys, but I forgot, it actually has a scene in the movie theater where the main girl's little brother and his friend sneak out to go see this midnight movie, and I always enjoy seeing things like that in movies, especially when the movie they're watching, which usually this is what they do, where it's kind of just a parody on the 80s slasher films, and that is what they're watching in the theater. And of course that's a great moment with The Blob as well, so I enjoyed that aspect of it. Anytime I see a movie theater within you know, a movie setting, I always think it's kind of cool, and it's probably one of my favorite settings, whether it's a main setting or just sort of a one scene type of thing. But really enjoyed that. The part where, I guess, I forget if it's like the military or the scientists or what, but the people kind of come and they're trying to take this thing down, and you kind of realize that they're sort of up to no good. I'm not a huge fan of all that. I never really like that in my movies, and with movies like this, you usually do get a scene with that, and there's always just some sort of, it's like, oh, these people did something wrong and that's why this blob has come type of deal, and then you think these people are on your side, but they're kind of dirty people in their own way, and I'm just not a big fan of that. I don't think it's like a major negative or anything, but for a plot, it's not my favorite plot device. So if anything, that's pretty much my only real complaint, I guess you could say, with the movie. So overall, The Blob remake from 1988, I think this is a solid watch, a fun movie, and has great effects if you're into that type of stuff. So I give this one an 8 out of 10. Definitely check it out if for some reason you have not seen it yet, because it's definitely a good one from the 80s. So thank you guys once again for joining me for this video, and as always, I will talk to you in the next one.